Hey everyone, BDZB Comics here, bringing you part 2 of my Travis Touchdown for Smash Brothers series. And might I say, I could not have had better timing. After the little tease at the end of Travis Strikes Again, I knew that showing off No More Heroes 3 at E3 was a possibility, but I didn't think it was far enough along in development for them to actually do it. So I'm pretty excited, needless to say, and they're saying it's gonna come out in 2020, so I might have to do yet another revised version of this moveset once No More Heroes 3 does come out, and as we learn more details and that sort of thing. I already have a couple of comments talking about things from No More Heroes 3, like the mech suit we see Travis wear, and asking, oh, why isn't that the final Smash? And it's like, well, first of all, I made the video before No More Heroes 3 was revealed, but second of all, we have only seen that mech suit in that trailer, and we don't really know what role it's going to have in the game, we don't really know how it's going to function, and I do really want regular Glastonbury as the final Smash for now, until we get more details. There is one thing that I definitely want to include from the trailer, though. Some people were wondering why I chose the costumes I did and didn't go with just using the clothes from No More Heroes 1 and 2 overall, and a big part of that is that there are just so many different options, it would be hard to choose what exactly. Also, there doesn't really seem to be much of a record of what those different outfits are online, and it would be difficult to capture without paying a lot in in-game currency. So I just decided to pull a Shulk and pull a Fire Emblem characters. A lot of characters do this. Just have Travis's costumes reference other characters from his series for the most part, and then have one shop outfit because I didn't know what else to make it. Now I know what else to make it. Old Travis from the trailer with like the beard and stuff. Yeah, that's replacing the Mad Rebellion costume, no questions asked. But those are added concepts. What about the cut concepts? Well, I had a lot of them, but I want to only share the most interesting ones. Even though I've only been doing videos about it pretty recently, I've been sharing around ideas for Travis's moveset for years. Basically, since I got into the No More Heroes games, I've been posting them on forums and stuff, and fan movesets tend to have a problem with just sneaking in as many references as possible, regardless of if they make sense or they fit with the rest of the moveset, and that's what a lot of my early Travis movesets looked like. Not only did Travis perform a lot of moves with different beam katanas, but he would do wacky stuff like have his running attack be pulling out a lawnmower, like in that sub-game in No More Heroes 1. Or he would, like, turn pixelated and shoot a blast of air down, like in that sub-game where you're picking up trash in No More Heroes 2. And it felt pretty disjointed. Adding to this disjointedness, some very early concepts from me had Travis's down B be switching between the different beam katanas, so he'd effectively have like 4 different movesets, which would not work. I mean, it could work, but it would make it so very complicated, and it would take so much time to program, and really, Travis doesn't need that. I think the way that I did it with him using the Bloodberry as his main weapon and switching to other beam katanas for certain attacks makes way more sense. And I also tried to incorporate some of the beam katanas from No More Heroes 1, which the differences between those, I would say, were not as great as the differences between the beam katanas in No More Heroes 2, and you couldn't switch between them freely in No More Heroes 1. You always had to go to your apartment to switch them out. So I think the way I did it was good. Another concept I had for his down special, it's weird that I'm starting with the down special, but hey, whatever, I guess I'll work backwards on the specials, was to have him do his charge and have, like, charging be a big part of the moveset. First of all, it's hard to reference that and make it appropriate. Like, there are ways that you could do it and not make it, like, too bad, but I almost feel like if it's gonna be there, you gotta do it for real. And basically, my compromise on that for this was just have the charge sound effect play once for his moveset. And the other thing is, like, that would be hard to balance around. You would either have to make Travis, like, super overpowered when he is fully charged. Otherwise, Travis would just be a terrible character overall because you'd have to have him charged to be anywhere near useful at all. So I figured might as well scrap the whole thing. The final idea I had for his down special, and this was actually in the mini movesets video that I released last year, was to have him use Strawberry on the Shortcake, which would work basically exactly like Bayonetta's Witch Time, where if an enemy is close enough, they got slowed down. Which, the fact that it is basically exactly the same as Bayonetta's Witch Time, and by the point I was coming up with the down special, I had already decided on what his side special and his grab would be. I thought, you know, I think there's maybe too much room for shenanigans here, like you paralyze someone, and then you bring them in, and then you slow them down, and then you slash at them. I could see that becoming really broken, so I changed it to the charge attacks because I was trying to figure out how to incorporate charge attacks into Travis's moveset. I was thinking, oh, they could be his side smash, or they could be his smash attacks. But really, I thought that making it the down special made the most sense, because it is sort of a special move in the No More Heroes games. It's not one that you'll have a chance to get out at all times, and it's not one you want to rely on too much, but when you can land a solid hit with it, it is very satisfying. For his up special, I kept it as the bike jump because I wanted Travis's bike to be incorporated into the moveset because it's a very iconic part of the character. However, I didn't want to make it his side special because I think that would invite too many Wario comparisons. I wanted his bike to feel significantly different from Wario's, and making it more of a recovery move, I think, really helps with that. But I did toy around with one other idea, and that was to make his up special the V2 chip from Travis Strikes Again, and it would basically function like Link's spin attack in every Smash Bros. Game so far. It could be used on the ground as like a powerful spin, but you could also use it in the air to get a bit of extra recovery. I also saw someone in the comments mentioning using one of the donut platforms from Travis Strikes Again for Travis's up special, and while I think the idea is cute, it is a reference to only one level from that game, which also happens to be maybe my least favorite level in Travis Strikes Again, so I don't know about that. Travis's side special is one that's changed significantly since the mini movesets video. That was originally Cranberry Chocolate Sundae, which turned Travis into a tiger and had him like doing swipes when you pressed the A button, which were like strong, but he didn't have good recovery or something like that, and it lasted for a limited time. I changed this because as cool as it is that Travis can turn into a tiger, I just don't think it's very practical to animate this whole transformation for one move. And it just kind of seemed ill-defined. Oh, how long does the transformation last? How powerful are your slashes? Is there, like, any real reason to use this move? And it didn't feel cohesive. It goes back to what I was saying earlier, where it was like, oh, I tried to fit in as many references as I can, but with what I did end up choosing, with the Psycho chip, Travis has the Death Glove on his hand at all times. So, to have him fire something out of said glove, it feels like something that, yeah, he could just do in that moment. And I went with this move specifically because it's one of the earlier chips you get in the game, and it's pretty useful throughout. I know that there are some other chips that you get earlier, and other chips that could work as a side special, but this is a chip that I used a lot in my playthrough, so I have grown used to it, and I think it meshes with the rest of Travis's moveset a lot better than some of the other chips. Even some of the more fun ones, like I know there's one where you can set vials of poison on the ground, or one where you can like set a cannon down and it launches little blasts of energy. I just feel like this one feels cohesive. And then his neutral special, I don't think it's ever changed. I don't know if even in my very early game facts movesets, if it's ever been anything other than Blueberry Cheese Brownie. I think it's a perfect neutral special. Beyond that, the last real cut concept for his moveset that I wanted to mention was his entrance animation. Initially, I was going to, and I actually showed the footage for this, have it be his entrance from Travis Strikes Again, where he teleports in naked and then his clothes materialize around him. Now, this works really well as an entrance animation, and when I first started working on part 1 of this, that was what I went with. But then I took a step back and realized, hey, wait a minute, saving by going to the bathroom is one of the most iconic things in the No More Heroes series. Having Travis get up from the toilet wasn't represented anywhere in my moveset. Like, it's the freaking title screen for No More Heroes 2. So I figured I had to amend that and work a reference in there somehow, while still making Travis look kinda cool with the second half of the animation. So, while Travis could have been more unique, he could have been significantly different, the moveset I provided in part 1 proves that there's nobody quite like Travis. Well, except Echo Fighter Henry Cooldown! So, this is a new thing. I haven't really talked about Echo Fighters in any of my previous Smash videos before, but I decided, you know what? If I'm gonna dream big, I'm gonna reach for the sky, baby. Not only getting Travis, getting his older brother / rival in on the action, too. Mechanically, Henry would be very similar to Travis, except he wouldn't have quite as much of a reliance on grabs, and he wouldn't be able to use the Shining Chip to pull enemies in from far away. To make up for this, though, Henry does have stronger Beam Katana-based moves. After all, he is one to prod at his brother for his subpar swordsmanship. Other changes include his neutral special, which is functionally pretty much the same as Blueberry Cheese Brownie, except it looks a lot more like his charge attack from his playable section in No More Heroes 2. His entrance animation also references No More Heroes 2, having him unfreeze from Carbonite. His up taunt has him shrug and say either, "Is that all you've got?" or "Such awful swordsmanship." His side taunt has him point his katana outward and say,
"Shall we get this over with?"
His down taunt has him hold his beam katana behind him before yelling,
"Let's go!"
And his final smash is his one-hit KO move from No More Heroes 1. Unlike Travis, this is a cutscene-based final smash, where the enemy has to be in your line of sight in order to be hit by it. But it is very powerful and very flashy. Now for his victory animations. His first victory pose has him slash straight through Let's Shake's machine and then look away as it explodes. His second victory pose says, "I can't be associated with you lot. I've got standards!" referencing one of his quotes from No More Heroes 2 at the very end. And his third victory pose has him waking up from Travis's bed and saying, "What on earth just happened?" Like Travis, most of Henry's alternate costumes do reference other No More Heroes characters. The first two reference Travis. One of them gives him a red jacket with a light gray shirt, and then the other gives him a purple jacket with an off-white shirt. The first referencing No More Heroes 1 and 2 Travis, the second referencing Travis Strikes Again Travis. His next color scheme gives him a black jacket, green shirt, and red accessories, referencing Let's Shake, the enemy that he brought down in No More Heroes 1. His next alternate costume gives him a beige jacket and a black shirt, referencing one of the outfits that his ex-wife, Sylvia, wears in No More Heroes 2. His next alternate costume gives him a white jacket and a brown shirt, referencing Ermin Palmer, the man that he kills just before you fight him as Travis in No More Heroes 1. His next to last alternate costume gives him a black jacket with a gold shirt and accessories, referencing Nathan Copeland from No More Heroes 2, the only other Scottish character in the games that we know of. And then, finally, just for the hell of it, I made his last costume shirtless Henry. Now, Henry isn't the only one of Travis's friends that joins in with him in Super Smash Bros. No, there's one more, although she fills a bit of a different role. Assist Trophy, Shinobu Jacobs! As one of the few characters to appear in every No More Heroes game so far, and one of the even fewer playable characters beyond Travis, I thought that Shinobu would make an ideal assist trophy for Super Smash Bros. Her moveset consists of a lot of fast sword attacks and a low kick, and she also has a diving kick, the same one that she can perform in the air in No More Heroes 2 when you play as her. She can also shoot beams out of her sword, so she can hit from a distance. Before she disappears, she'll say, "You need more practice!" And that's basically it. Okay, so by this point you're probably wondering, so we got two characters, we got an assist trophy, we got some music that's been playing in the background, which you could reasonably assume would play on a No More Heroes stage. What's going to be the No More Heroes stage? And that is very simple. It's Motel No More Heroes. The place where Travis comes back to after every fight in No More Heroes 1 and 2. I can't think of a more iconic location in the series. The stage itself isn't super complex. It's got a top layer, it's got a staircase, and it's got a bottom layer. The bottom layer has got some vending machines and stuff that you can hop on, maybe, but really, there's no need to overcomplicate it. It was a good enough battlefield for Travis and Henry in No More Heroes 1. It should be a good enough battlefield for Travis and Mario, or Henry and Pikachu in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate or Ultimate 2 or what have you. Now, like I was saying earlier, a lot of the music on this stage is stuff that you've been hearing in both this video and the previous one. But there are a couple of songs with lyrics that I thought might be a little too distracting to listen to me talk over that I wanted to include, so I've put them here. Some of these would have to be edited or censored in some way. I don't think you're going to be able to get away with lines like this. But maybe that's a good thing, because that would mean we'd get an original remix, which would be pretty freaking cool. Bonus points if they get Nadia Gifford back to do Margaret's singing voice. Anyway, I'm great at transitions, so on to the next thing. Travis's classic mode route is called Climbing the UAA Ranks, and it references various bosses from No More Heroes 1. The first boss fight is against Ganondorf, a dead ringer for death metal, on the Tomodachi Life stage, referencing his resort. The second battle is against Schoolgirl Inkling at Suzaku Castle with Shinobu assist trophies and sword-based items on high, referencing, of course, Shinobu. The third battle is against Mega Man on Shadow Moses Island, referencing the fight against Destroy Man in his sort of warehouse-type facility. The fourth battle is against Bayonetta. And I'm not sure about the stage here, but this is referencing Speedbuster, who is also a witch, albeit a much less young and sexy one. The fifth battle is against Princess Peach with the home run bat on very high, referencing Bad Girl, and her stage, I guess, we can cheat a little here and make it the home run contest area. It's my concept, I make the rules. Then we go to the bonus stage, and then for the boss fight, the splash screen says Dark Star, and there is a cutscene where you see Dark Star going up against Travis, but then before the fight can actually start, Dark Star is taken out by Zero Suit Samus in her orange alternate costume, referencing the battle with Jean. And then, after the boss fight, you will unlock Henry, and that will take place on the Hotel No More Heroes stage, referencing the true final boss fight from No More Heroes 1. And Henry's classic mode route is called Climbing the UAA Ranks Part 2. And it references various bosses from No More Heroes 2. Henry starts out classic mode in front of Motel No More Heroes, fighting male Corrin, who is white, spiky hair and oversized sword, is a dead ringer for Skelter Helter, the first boss of No More Heroes 2. For round 2, he moves to Pokemon Stadium to fight a giant Captain Falcon, along with a whole bunch of Isabels. This is a reference to Charlie McDonnell and his cheerleaders, who you fight a little later on in the game. Round 3 is against a big boy, King Dedede, in Luigi's Mansion, referencing his fight with Matt Helms. Then for round 4, you have him fighting 2 Mega Men at Shadow Moses Island, referencing Shinobu's fight against New Destroy Man. And then finally, for round 5, you have him fighting Ryu at Find Me, referencing the fight against Ryuji in No More Heroes 2, which was close to the end. And I included Find Me as the stage because there's a dragon built in, and a dragon is the most annoying part of Ryuji's fight. Now you go to the bonus stage, and then the boss of Henry run is a brand new boss, Jasper Bat Jr., the final boss of No More Heroes 2. And you fight him in both his first and second phases. I'm not going to include his third form because, in Henry's own words,
I can't be associated with that travesty. I mean, I've got standards, for fuck's sake.
And then there you have it. That's basically everything I wanted to cover about Travis and Smash. Now, if you have your own ideas on how this could work, definitely let me know. And hey, you could even get mentioned in my next video. I will say right now, shout out to Tora Zavala Suarez, who gave a few potential ideas for Travis's moveset that I mentioned in this video. And I hope that he's not the only one to comment ideas in this video or my next video, but we shall see. Anyway, you all have a good time, and see you later, alligator.